What happens if there's an odd number of people? What happens if there's 31 people in here? Can I have 15 and a half people in one group? Kind of hard to do with a figurative number like that, right? I can't say that the median number of cars in this parking lot is 13.5 because which half of a car do you have? Which half of a television set do you have? But the government talks about all the time median values and coming up with halves and things like that. They like different statistics out there. Mean and median have to be numeric values because you have to perform an operation of sorting and very possibly doing a middle value in the problem. So they're the ones that are more numerically related. The mode value is a measure of central tendency, but it's not a real reliable measure of central tendency. The mode is described as the most frequently observed item. Think of the mode as the winner of the popularity contest. The mode is like, oh, so-and-so got more votes, so they're elected president. So-and-so got more votes, so they're elected homecoming queen or something like that. That's not necessarily in the center of the data, but it is a way to be able to describe the most popular or the most used item. Looking at cars in a parking lot, we'd probably be talking about a mode value. Looking at what the favorite fast food restaurant is, we'd probably be talking about a mode value. Talking about the mean amount of money that you're going to get back on an income tax return, we're talking about a numeric value now. So numeric values have to be mean and mode because you can't add together. I'm somewhere between a Toyota and a Ford. You can't merge a Toyota and a Ford car together and come up with an average out of that. In here, if I say half of you have blonde hair and half of you have darker hair, I can't come up with an average hair color. I can come up with a total number, same thing for eye color. If I got 14 people that have blue eyes and I got 14 people that have brown eyes, I don't have an average of brown-blue. You can't add words together. So you have at least one problem that gives you something that you're measuring that turns out to be a word quantity, and will ask you what the mean value is, and you'll have to answer, I can't do that. Specifically, while I'm thinking about it, I happen to remember where it came from. So if I go back here, hold on a second, let me get to it. There we go. So what's the average color of car? You can't do it. What's the average of gold and green? Well, it's something I probably wouldn't paint a wall in my house on. But you can't average words. And you're looking at that and you're saying, yeah, but there's a bunch of numbers there. Those numbers describe how many items have this quality. Can I talk about a mode? What's the most frequently observed color? White. Okay, but mean up here, I can't come back and say the mean is because they're saying type a decimal number. And if you're adding all these values together and dividing by 6, then you're telling me the average number of people that responded a color. But I don't know what that color is, because now you're splitting them all up into the equal colors in there. So here, you're not going to be able to have a mean for this problem. And here, guess what? You can't have a median. You can't have a mean. You can't have a median. But can you have a mode? That we can have. So you said here that the average color was going to be, that the mode color was going to be white. Mode can be a number, but it's not always the most reliable number. It doesn't necessarily center itself in the middle of the data. Mean and median are the two that we see most often. So I know that we see a question like that out of there. So to get into working with this stuff, look at this set of data. This is a typical type of problem that you might see. If we don't have a calculator that we can use, then we would have to do the problem by hand. And really, it doesn't make a difference if I'm finding a mean value, whether the numbers are arranged sequentially or not. But to find the median value, they must be arranged sequentially, either from smallest to largest or from largest to smallest. Because the median is a number value where you will cut the data and give a 50% on one side and a 50% on the other side. So here, let's do the easy one first. Median is easy. Median can be a very visual thing once you sort the data. How many data items are there? 12. 12 items broken into two groups of equal size must mean you're going to have how many items in each group? 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the median value is not 20, and it's not 21. But if that were a ruler, where would you cut? Halfway between 20 and 21, 20.5, right? If the median value falls between two values, then your median is going to be the average of those two values. You take 20 plus 21, if you needed to do an arithmetic operation anyway, and you divide by 2, which would give you 20.5. Now how many data items do I have? 11. So what happens when you take 11 and divide it by 2? I get 5.5. Does that pose a problem? You can't have half an item, right? So what are you going to do with that 0.5? Two choices. Drop it, and if you drop it, you get a value of If you drop it, you get a value of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And your median value now becomes literally the middle value. If you round up and you say 6, then that means that item number 6 is your median value. So, different ways to be able to look at that. And I know you've seen that before because somewhere along the line when you were in elementary school and you went out to recess or you were in PE class, and the teacher said, we're going to play kickball today. I'm going to break you up into two groups. And there was an odd number of people. What happened to that odd person? Did they get to sit on the bleachers and watch everybody play? Probably not. Did they make them be the pitcher all the time? Or maybe the referee, the umpire? Possibly so. So the problem is that the median value could be one of the values of your data set, but if it's not one of the values of the data set, then it has to be between the two closest values. Now, if we're talking about mean, means something different. And because mean is something different, we have a different ballgame now. Mean value. So over here, on this problem, we would say our median value is 20. Are half of the values less than 20? Are half of the values greater than 20? Does 20 belong to either half? Technically, no. So you do have two groups of equal size with an odd value on the outside. But it's actually in the middle. Okay? Mean value now. Mean value means I have to add all those numbers together. Then I got to divide by the number of values that I have there. That's third grade arithmetic. I don't need you to waste your time doing third grade arithmetic because you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get pissed off. So we're going to use the calculator. So at this particular point in time, we're going to talk about the calculator. We're going to talk about some do's and some don'ts on the calculator first of all, and what it's going to do for you. That's been equipped.